Hello everyone, someone showed me this video recently by Big Fry TV. I don't know him, I never watched any video on his channel. The reason I want to show you this video is too many Star Citizens are living in the echo chamber. If you have fun playing Star Citizen even in its current form, fantastic. However, many of us expected a lot more. We still don't even have 10% of the stretch goals. Star Citizen still has a lot of interaction delays and even do things of players and NPCs at walking speeds. I don't think that Big Fry TV has any reason to hate Star Citizen. Our gaming have no reason to hate Star Citizen either. However, if you go to Reddit, to our games or our gaming, they are not exactly very positive whenever Star Citizen comes up. I don't hate Star Citizen. I still want Star Citizen to become a fantastic game and a huge success. I just don't have any hope left anymore with Chris and CRG's top management. For year 14 and more than $1 billion in funding, they have very little to show for. These things are so bad, the game is almost unplayable at times. He says he plays Star Citizen every 1 to 2 years to see if there's any improvement. The link to this video is my first pinned comment below. I will only talk about things I find important.
And a community member and moderator reached out to me and said, hey, Star Citizen is in the best spot that it has ever been, and I want to take you on a nice curated journey to experience some of the new content.
This is something I never understand. How can someone be so deep in his echo chamber that he thinks in 4.7 Star Citizen is in its best state ever? Ship elevators are still destroying ships. Cargo elevators are not working reliably. Yesterday I started a ship, I hit my key, nothing happened. I hit my start key again, nothing happened. I thought, oh, did CRG change hotkeys again? 10 seconds later, my ship started. 15-second interaction delay. When you want a dogfight, ships are teleporting all over your screen. Yeah, good luck with the best state ever.
And after going on this curated adventure and experiencing what Star Citizen has to offer in 2026, I was then left with an overwhelming sense of needing to uninstall that fucking launcher from my PC.
Normal gamer, he has no reason to hate Star Citizen, he just wants to check out if anything improved in the last 1 or 2 years. And his reaction after playing Star Citizen, he wants to uninstall the game. I cannot blame him.
We decided to opt into the Onyx space station mission, which, don't get me wrong, was a visual spectacle at 24 FPS. The lighting, the textures, the intricate layouts of this facility were actually fucking awesome. And as we descended further into the lower regions of this base, I descended further into fucking madness, with the AI combat feeling and looking like this. What in the fuck?
Friendly down!
I think I missed them. Never mind. Oh, behind you, Frank.
Look out!
What in the fuck?
Jank on top of jank, cringe on top of cringe. NPCs either doing nothing or teleporting all over the place. NPC death animations playing out for like 10-15 seconds. Yeah, if you play Star Citizen every day, if you like Star Citizen, you might look over this and you say, yeah, it's just a typical jank in Star Citizen, but it will get better. Yeah, stop lying to yourself, please. We are in year 14. We have no server meshing. This is a normal gamer who expects normal FPS gameplay like in like in thousands of other games, and he sees this, shit show. Please do me a favor, leave your echo chambers. Don't just read Spectrum and Star Citizen. Don't just watch Star Citizen hype and chill channels. See what normal gamers think about Star Citizen and then start to think. Should I really buy the new ship for $500? Is this really a good way to spend my money? Will Chris spend his money on improving the game, or will Chris spend his money on eye candy, cool cinematic, and his interactive movie Squadron 42?
And I was told then that once server meshing comes into the game, none of these issues are going to matter. They're not going to happen anymore. The server meshing is what's causing the AI to be like this. You just don't understand. And a server meshing has come to the game. This was the huge update that every Star Citizen fanboy was coping, was going to save the game, was going to make the game feel absolutely incredible when it gets there. It's going to change everything. And it still plays like total shit.
Yeah, server meshing was supposed to fix all those issues. Interaction delays, do things, etc. In January 2025, we got the first iteration of server meshing, static server meshing. We have no higher player cap, up to 700 to 800 player on one server shard, but besides this, server meshing didn't improve anything. We still have massive interaction delays and do things. I am so long with this project, I remember all the other Jesus tags that will fix everything. For example, anyone remember iCache? But don't worry, the next Jesus tags are around the corner. This time it's dynamic server meshing and Maelstrom, and this will fix everything for sure.
We got to a point where these alien dogs started spawning and running around like an early access asset flip, desyncing all over the place. The AI human enemies there calling out to you that they're suppressing fire every 5 seconds.
Suppressing fire!
He's not even so. Okay.
Laying down cover! Stepping out!
Where the fuck are they yelling from? Oh, right back here.
Friendly down! Here! Switching cover! They're gonna pay for that.
That's a very good point. Not only are NPCs and players desyncing all over the place, the sound design is very bad too. Suppressing fire! You will pay for it! Who thinks this is good? I mean, Chris thinks he is the best movie director ever, so he should know that good sound design is very important for a movie too. But we have this. It would be more immersive if NPCs would not talk at all, instead of talking silly lines that are repeated on a loop that don't make any sense. Does Chris think this is immersive?
Look out!
This is very important too. He tried to pick up the gun, he looked for an F prompt, and then he almost died because of this. In 99.9% of games, it's trivial, easy and painless to pick up an item lying on the ground. In Star Citizen Year 14, it's still a tedious chore that can get you killed.
I'm gonna die.
Suppressive fire!
We're getting swarmed. Head towards me, there's an elevator coming down.
Laying down cover! They're here somewhere.
Cover ourselves while...
Down!
They're just
the
T-posing, dude.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh no. Very threatening stuff there. All the while I'm stressing in the middle of a gunfight trying to pick up a gun on the ground that has an entire animation tied to it, like that really fucking matters. It's like this game tries its hardest to trip over itself, trying to have every bell and whistle in there from the jump. Everything you do has an animation tied to it, which simultaneously makes the game clunkier than trying to land a Boeing 747 in a Walmart parking lot. And the thing is, I can't even be mad at it because like the player base loves it.
Let's assume those numbers are correct, and I have no reason to believe they are not correct. Yeah, people love it. People love to support this project. And I was one of them. I am way past concierge. The reason why I supported this project for so long is I really wanted to have a fantastic new space game. And I also like a modern wing commander. It takes quite a while to realize that putting more money into this doesn't improve anything. Because Chris and CRG's top management are not up for the task. You can give Chris another billion, another 10 billion, and Chris will still prioritize eye candy, cool cinematic, and his interactive movie Squadron 42. Chris does not care about the PU as long as it brings the money in.
They've completely reworked the inventory system. I'm not the biggest fan of this, like, you know, in real space inventory system. I find it, again, just another clunky mechanic that really didn't need to be reworked. Granted, their old inventory system was also dog shit. It's like they really just can't figure out how to make a solid, functional, but also not fucking clunky inventory system.
There are games that are doing inventory system very well. There are games that are doing inventory system okay. Usually, I have no complaints about inventory system. But in Star Citizen in year 14, inventory system is still clunky and jank. Why not look how others are doing it and start from there? I am not saying CHE should just copy what others are doing, but come on, we all stand on the shoulders of giants. This is not rocket science. Once again, for Chris, it's more important that the inventory system looks cool and cinematic. Function never plays any role for Chris.
But realistically, the entire game just feels like it still needs like 4 to 5 years of development to even be worth actually playing.
Well, the issue with, just give CHE 5 more years is, we don't know if they can ever fix the massive interaction delays, the massive do-things. CHE is using an old and obsolete engine that was never meant for an MMO. Yes, CHE did a lot of modifications over the years, still, the core issues are still there. CHE's netcode is terrible, CHE's servers are still in a very sorry state, even after we got the first iteration of server meshing in January 2025. To this day, CHE never showed us that they can make a multiplayer game with acceptable interaction delays and acceptable do-things. Never. In 4.5 we got engineering and now CHE servers that were already way past capacity, have to take care, have to store and have to distribute even more data. Same thing will happen when we get Maelstrom, more data. If CHE cannot fix the massive network issues, giving them 4 or 5 more years, heck, giving them 10 more years, will not lead to a playable game.
But every time I get told to go back and check out Star Citizen, it's been a while, Big Fry, and the game's in a much better spot than the last time you played, it's always fucking ass. And it comes a point in time where, like, I feel like people need to start asking questions like, bro, $1 billion in crowdfunding, 12 plus years in development, and we're still sitting here in like pre-alpha / tech demo territory. Not all of the features are in the game yet. We haven't even hit to a point where we can even be looking at some potential sort of beta. What the actual fuck is going on? And when I ask these questions, I'm always met with there's no other game like Star Citizen, and that is true. Absolutely, that is true. There is no other game on the market like Star Citizen. But in terms of actually taking this vision and fucking hitting it out of the park and bringing it home, like when? What timeline are we looking at? Because every single time I have heard a timeline, it's been bullshit. And then when those updates do eventually come, they're half-assed, or there's another excuse, or there's another reason why this mechanic doesn't work yet. But well, because we're waiting on this, and it's been a fucking shit show.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait for iCache. Just wait for server meshing. Just wait for dynamic server meshing. Just wait for Maelstrom. Again and again and again. The next Jesus tech that will fix everything is always just around the corner. At a point when we actually get to mechanics, they are almost always lowest possible effort. Thrown out of the door, half-assed at best, and then CHE never touches them for years and years.
But I'm an outsider, right? I'm not in the forums. I don't have $10,000 in ships. I'm just somebody who desperately wants to play a game like Star Citizen. But every time I play it, I see that there's been focus placed in areas that don't make fucking sense to me. And so I wanted to make a video. I have a lot of people that always ask me about Star Citizen. I got the itch to jump in recently, and man, I was recording. I was hoping that the op was going to be actually pretty decent. I hadn't played since before server meshing, and the last time we played, it was a fucking disaster. And so I was like, there's no way it could be worse than that. And even though it might not have been worse, it still wasn't any fucking better after 2 years.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Pistol, 10%. Pistol, 10% damage reduction arm. Okay, this game is very laggy at the moment.
Server meshing has been working pretty much flawlessly at scale for the past 9 months.
We are starting with my character standing just in front of the threads. Okay, Flicker, please move forward. Yeah, you are just getting tracked along. More, please. You take no damage, you are just getting tracked along. Okay.
Not because our physics code is terrible, in fact, it's great.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.